I believe everybody that can hear me knows at least one person that shouldn't own a gun, even if it's just some slapdick down the street that's a homeless dude. That's crazy, right? The question then becomes, who gets to decide who's entitled to self-defense? Is it the government? Because nope, I don't care how dangerous it gets, I'll never agree to that.
Yeah.
And I think, what we need to do as human beings is twofold. One, start holding people actually accountable. Put criminals in prison. And if they fuck up again, put them in prison again. Right? And then another way to hold people accountable is to shoot them in their face.
Let's go.
Welcome to Citizen. We have comedian Nick Simmons on the show today. How's it going?
Going pretty good. Not too bad.
Yeah? You've recently moved here?
Yeah, finally got to nice Texas.
Is that a thing now that instead of moving to LA?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you were a New York comedian, so you didn't have to.
I lived in LA for
you did? Oh,
2.5 years, and it was the worst time. I actually moved there with perfect time. I moved there in the end of 2020, which, as you can imagine, was such a lovely time to be, because they were governed so perfectly. So it was great to be there.
Well, it turned into a bit of a ghost town, right?
Yeah, it was actually the worst because we would try and perform. We actually tried to do stand-up outdoors, and I remember we were performing for homeless people in parks, and we'd still get the cops called on us because they didn't want us performing outside, which you think, free entertainment, and who are we bothering? But people still called the cops on us.
Yeah, you would also think, considering the county of LA spends $2 billion a year trying to solve the homeless problem.
Right, and we're out here giving them entertainment.
Giving them all COVID would be
right,
a much cheaper solution.
Right,
free actually.
Yeah,
just shut the fuck up and stop bothering people.
I've watched that. I realized how corrupt that whole homeless situation is, and it's the worst.
Yeah, it's not been great. Considering, it's like the least ROI of any investment in history, maybe.
No, but you ever look into the fact that they have some of these homeless outreach programs that what they do is they get these grants and they get a ton of money to build housing for the homeless, and then when they don't build them, all the money goes to consulting fees. Then these people are getting a lot richer off homeless people, and it's getting worse and worse. Which is that's weird. It's almost like this is a business.
That's what I'd like to do. And anytime I see somebody that needs help, I mosey on over and say, how can I make myself a profit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Jesus
and it's
Christ.
interesting out there too, because the cops can't really mess with them, in the tents.
Yeah.
So I saw drug dealers actually using the tents as base in manhunt. I saw this outside of my old development. There was a guy who'd show up in Aston Martin, and he would pull up, get in a tent. You'd see people come in and out all day. He'd get back in his car and get out. I'm like, it's kind of genius.
Yeah, it's not dumb. I lived in Oakland for
Ooh,
7 years. Well, I lived in Piedmont. I don't know if you know anything about that area, but it's like a hill overlooking Oakland.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, so it's
you're like in the Lion King.
yeah. It was like that, sometime around that area or around that time period, so, between 2011 and I left in 2017. There was just straight up open air drug markets. Not so much in Oakland. Oakland wasn't too bad, although it was shitty. But in San Francisco, especially in the Tenderloin, man,
I haven't been there yet, but I hear it's
rough,
terrible.
Yeah, I used to go to Cobb's Comedy Club a lot.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
And it's in fuck out of here. It's in the Marina District, but it's not too far away from a lot of bullshit. I usually used to walk nearby, or I'm sorry, take the train over to work every day. So I lived in Oakland. I worked in San Francisco at a federal building, and yeah, man, I remember.
How was that train?
The train was fine, actually.
Yeah?
Not bad. Every now and again, there was a crackhead sleeping on it and shit like that. But, yeah, I remember getting off. I would get off at a stop and walk over to work. And I remember the first time I saw a dude just shitting in the street.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. All right.
I didn't realize how bad it was until Ron DeSantis and Newsom debated, and he brought up the poop map. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Is San Fran more of like a meth town than a heroin town?
I would say definitely more heroin.
More
to be
heroin?
honest. Yeah. I don't know what it is now, but when I was there before, like we were just there, Candace and I were just there for her birthday a couple months ago. And we stayed in a nicer part of the town. Obviously, we're not staying in the Tenderloin or anything, but yeah, it's still, you see people nodding out all the time. You grew up in the Bronx, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I noticed is when I moved to the West Coast, it's a different. They were hooked on meth.
Yeah,
and I'm so used
meth.
to heroin, which is why I feel like New York has the most talented homeless people. Like you get on the train, it's like America's Got Talent with no shoes on because they could sing, they could dance.
Yeah.
And over there, they just want to fucking stab you.
They could also, the gymnastics people do when they're nodding out like that is wild.
I saw my first one fall the other day.
Oh, shit.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The whole train.
That's like seeing a cat land on his back or something.
Yeah, and there was a guy dancing on the other side of the train, and he even stopped because we all were just like, get the fuck out of here. It was so crazy because the guy actually fell. I'm like, I didn't know you could fall. And he woke up, and he even looked embarrassed.
That's like, do you lose street cred in the homeless community for that? Like, hey, did you hear about?
He was vanished.
You hear about Jerry? Like, move your tent down the way, you fucking loser. Jesus Christ, get out of. You can't. Like, you're making us all look bad now. So you grew up in the Bronx. What are you? 34? You said
35 now.
35.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up there?
I grew up in a Italian neighborhood in the Bronx, so it's a very like. If you watch the movie A Bronx Tale, it's pretty much like based on that neighborhood. I lived in Mars Park, then I lived in Country Club, which sounds like a made up place in the Bronx, and people like to keep it that way because people don't in the rest of the Bronx don't even know Country Club exists because it's like on the other side of the biggest park, and it's like it's nice. It's like houses on the water, so it's like not at all what you'd think when you think the Bronx, but it's like the food is amazing. It's a very family cultural neighborhood. But then for high school, because I was a wrestler, and I was a pretty good wrestler in high school, ended up moving upstate to this place called Poughkeepsie, New York, which was actually more ghetto than the Bronx.
Really? That's surprising.
Because during the 90s, it was like the crack epidemic. Like all the gangs moved up there to destroy that neighborhood, and it's still in shambles.
Well, everybody knows Hyde Park, I think, right?
Yeah, it's right next to Poughkeepsie, yeah.
Yeah. That was a bit of a situation for a minute. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't.
Beautiful now.
Is it really?
Hyde Park's gorgeous, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, there was a lot of crackheads running around there for a bit.
Yeah, and I think that's where I forgot what president's mansion is over there. There's one of the famous presidents was it Roosevelt?
Maybe. The Roosevelts are from New York, so maybe. I think, which one was it? FDR was the governor of New York before he was president?
I think
I don't remember.
It was like his getaway.
And there's the Vanderbilt estate is up there too.
Yeah.
And I don't think they even own it anymore.
I think it's more of just like you go there on a field trip type of thing.
Yeah. So the Bronx is a little bit more. People today often will say things like diversity is our strength, and people will say that that America's a melting pot. I would argue it's more of a stew where you're supposed to blend in with the rest of the ingredients, but the Bronx was always like that.
Yeah.
And in the way that it was always meant to be, right?
Kind of, but people act like, because it is like one of the most diverse boroughs, people act like it's so diverse and such a melting pot, but it's honestly not.
What's like 4 groups?
It's very segregated.
Yeah.
Like you go to this neighborhood, this is
yeah.
the Russians. You go to this neighborhood, that's the Arabs. This neighborhood, the Italians. You don't go and like I remember I was a teenager going into an Irish neighborhood, which is called Edgewater, and they literally were like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I was like, "All right, getting the fuck out," because it was like off the boat Irish guys.
Yeah.
And they did not want Italians coming in their neighborhood, and they would chase you the fuck out.
Well, maybe there's a lesson there.
Yeah.
Like we can exist together. You just got to stay the fuck
out of my neighborhood.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Did you get into a lot of trouble growing up around an area like that? Because I definitely would have.
Legal, no. I was lucky because my dad was a corrections officer on Rikers Island, so I had his badge card, which got me out of a lot of shit. But fist fights, shit
Yeah,
like
New York
that.
and New Jersey, those things are very valuable.
Yeah.
Not so much the rest of the country, but those two places specifically, those cards are very. I got some from New Jersey in the front.
Actually, a
up
funny
there.
story about that because I was in the car with I was driving and it's me and 3 black comedians and we're in the car and they start bringing up white privilege and we're arguing about it and I'm like saying, it doesn't exist. They're saying it does, and we're arguing. And the next thing I know, I see cop lights behind me, and the cop lights go on. I turn the music down. They get fucking quiet. And I'm like, oh, I must have won the fucking debate because they stopped arguing. And the cop walks up, and he goes, license and registration. They're quiet as shit. I hand him my license, registration, and my I know a cop card. And he just looks at it and he goes, Rikers? And I'm like, yeah, my dad. And he goes, all right, get home safe. And they just go, did you just hand him a fucking white privilege card?
I mean, yeah, but
I was like, yeah, anyone can know a cop.
the whiteness is that's a coincidence.
Yeah.
In that regard, there's a lot of black fucking corrections officers up there. Shit,
Oh, yeah.
it might be mostly black now.
Mostly,
Yeah.
And New York does actually do well because I was talking to my friend about this. We were saying that New York, each neighborhood does this great. Like in an Italian neighborhood, they'll have Italian cops. And like you go to Chinatown, you see Chinese cops, which is, in my opinion, the best way to do it. Like people might think that sounds bad, but I think sticking someone in the wrong neighborhood is going to make them nervous. And the last thing you want is someone who's a little more nervous around people with a gun.
Yeah, this is something that, and forget about just policing. This is something that the neocons in America just can't seem to figure out. You can't police other people. You can't send like black and white dudes to Arab countries to police them.
No.
That's not gonna fucking happen, man.
Nope.
You know what I mean? It's like the culture's different and they don't respect outside authority.
Absolutely.
Unless you absolutely dominate them, which is not what we really want to do. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. Yeah, like the police should typically look and think like the
Like
people
the
that are
people.
there. It doesn't necessarily, like if it's a mixed neighborhood, then it doesn't, the race doesn't matter, but the fucking attitude does. You can't take some fucking Iowa dude and put him in the middle of a fucking a borough or like that.
That's gonna go bad.
Because in Iowa, people talk to the police a certain way. It's like, yes, sir, no, sir.
Yeah.
And the Bronx, it's like, hey, fuck face.
Yeah.
And the cop is like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
It's just like, it's a different attitude. And I think, yeah,
It puts people at ease.
yeah. People think of it as disrespectful, and you get this sometimes, and I'm like, I don't think I have any male friends where we haven't lit each other up. Probably before we became friends. Actually,
If I don't bust balls with someone, then I probably don't either know them or don't like them.
Yeah, so there's like a level of rapport that only gets us, and this is like true in the animal kingdom as well, is when you see lions fucking with each other all the time. There's a level of rapport that can only get met with a certain level of fucking with each other.
Yeah.
I think it's why dudes, like people in certain industries, the restaurant industry, comedy, the military, police, fire, stuff like that, where they're around each other all the time and they're just constantly talking shit, you see closer relationships out of those guys.
Oh,
They're-
yeah.
They're like bro relationships than you do anywhere. Frat stuff too, I guess, to some degree.
That's like I used to work at a really authentic Italian deli, and like that was like we're doing
By
carb
really
work.
authentic, you mean that Mexican dudes were working in the kitchen?
Exactly. But in the front, it was very Italian. And we would bust balls with the customers all the time. And that's why people loved coming to that place because it made you feel like, oh, this is the neighborhood spot.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, obviously some of the fucking plays on it, like Dick's Last Resort, is dumb. But
I've never been, but I've been trying to go, and I want to bring Callan, and I don't want to tell him what it is before I bring him.
There's
in there.
one here
Is there?
in San Antonio, I think. Yeah.
Yeah?
I
Oh,
think
there-
so. Yeah.
Yeah, near the Riverwalk, right?
Yeah. We should. We should actually go down there.
That'd be fun.
I might be going to dinner with him tomorrow. Actually, I'll bring it up. That would be.
I want to bring him
just
there
like-
without
like a-
telling him, just so they just start fucking.
Oh, yeah. Does he not know? He probably knows.
He has
though.
no idea.
Oh, really? Well,
We walk
fuck.
by and he goes, "What's that?" And I'm like, "We'll go."
Yeah, I won't say anything then.
We'll go.
That's funny. Yeah, that's really good. Would actually.
Have you been there before?
Oh yeah. It would be fun to take a group of comedians there that actually knew.
Just fire back. Oh, that'd be so fun.
Like if you took some good roast comics, which there's plenty here in Austin now.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole fucking show for it, and that would either make or ruin someone's life.
Imagine bringing a Tony Hinchcliffe to the Knicks.
Yeah, and this is fucking bedazzled gay cowboy outfit. So they're like, "Who's this fucking asshole?" And then he just starts lighting them up. That would be
great.
So wrestled in high school. What else did you do in high school?
Wrestling and football were my two sports, but wrestling was my main. Made it to NHSCA Nationals by junior year, and I was gonna do it in college, but then I realized that cutting from 200 pounds down to 160 is not something I wanted to keep on doing for a sport that there is no final destination. It's the only sport where at the end it's just actors in underwear playing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys are going into MMA now, but again, that's a fucking. I mean, baseball with the minor leagues is tough. Mm-hmm. You know, there's 750 or so major league players at any given time. And then about 4 to 5 times that much in the minors, and the vast majority of them will never make the majors. That's a tough.
That's got to be one of the hardest sports to make it to the majors, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess technically, that's probably not true. It's the hardest.
It's definitely the hardest sport.
It's the hardest that people actually try, right?
Yeah.
Because people don't try to join the NBA. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You either make it or you don't. There's no like fucking minor league. There's a G League and shit, but most of the people in the G League never make it either. And the G League actually turns a profit, unlike the WNBA. So they actually make somewhat decent salaries. You know what I mean?
Did you see the thing the WNBA players wearing the shirts that say "Pay us what we deserve"?
Yeah.
And it's like, you mean negative dollars?
It would be about negative $250,000 a player.
Right?
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark is the only thing keeping that shit afloat right now.
Yeah. It's not smart. I guess, and then in football, not really. I mean, there's college, but then you're not going to go play. You know Gerard Michaels, right?
Yeah.
Our buddy.
Yeah.
I've known him for years. So he played minor league ball for a couple, for 6 or 8 years or some shit before he finally was like, all right, well, this isn't going to work out. But nobody goes and plays a lower league in football or basketball for 8 years and then decides, right? So I don't know. It's hard to say which is harder, but there's definitely a lot more opportunity to fail in baseball.
I wonder if soccer is an easy one to make it in this country, since we don't give a shit about soccer.
If you're a good athlete,
right?
I mean, honestly, we're not sending our best, obviously.
I was having this debate with someone, South American friend, the other day, because they were saying that U.S. sucks at soccer, and I'm like, it's only because we don't give a shit. Because I was telling him, if you put our best athletes,
put LeBron James out there,
you put him in the goal, you put imagine Tyreek Hill as a striker. The only reason we're not winning every World Cup is because we don't get. The minute we start giving a shit is the minute you guys never see a World Cup ever.
I think we should do it for just 1 year.
Right? Just
have all of our best athletes go out there for 1 year, not even like soccer players.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, we don't even care about this. We just wanted to.
We just want to dominate you.
It's like when the little dude in the group is chirping and you just go fucking turtle him. You just put him on his back.
Yeah.
Like
hand on the head.
And he's like, all right, fine.
That's
finally.
I told them, this is how good we are at sports. I was like, did you hear about the cricket thing last year? Our U.S. cricket? I didn't even know we had a cricket team.
I don't like that. That's like, you're asking me to participate in something that I don't even agree with.
Right?
You know what I mean? At this point.
But the best part was, so Pakistan's supposed to be the best team, right? We don't have, our players on the U.S. team are not full-time players. Most of them work at Oracle. So they had to take paid time off of work to play Pakistan, and then we fucking beat Pakistan. That's how good we are. Our Oracle players, our Oracle workers could take time off of work and beat the best team in the world at a sport we didn't even know existed.
Yeah, I bet if you just take recently retired Major League Baseball players,
dude,
or this is the other thing. Our soccer team should be like people from the men's volleyball Olympic team. Just put them over there too.
Yeah,
like you got to play over there now too.
You play all our B sports.
Yeah, because the guys that we're sending are just we're sending our like 5th or 6th best guy, while the rest of the world is sending their best guy, unless you count like Russia, Sweden, Poland, because they're hockey players, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, they're sending their best at hockey, but the rest of the world is sending their absolute best athletes.
That's all they do. Oh, God.
Yeah,
we're trying to come up with the best U.S. team.
Yeah. I mean, it would be fun to see, just put our best athletes out there to see what happens. I'm a soccer fan. I'm a big Arsenal fan.
Are you?
Yeah, I've watched Arsenal since I was a kid.
You watch World Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna go to the games when they come here?
It depends on. I don't know if they released a schedule yet on
Not
where
yet,
they're going to
no.
be. Yeah, I'm sure there'll probably be one in Dallas. I would
There's
imagine.
gonna be. I'm a big Cowboys fan, so I can't fucking wait to go down there.
Yeah, that's a great stadium to watch a game to. Any game.
Have you been?
Oh yeah. Dozens of times.
Now that I live here, I want to go so.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys suck, but no offense, but
No, Dak Prescott makes me so upset to be a Cowboys fan, and I've found out that people here like Dak Prescott, and it's made me so upset.
people here like Dak Prescott the same way that people like their favorite politician. Completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what they do, they still love him.
He plays quarterback like he's colorblind. Like he throws the ball and goes, "I wonder why they're running back towards me."
Yeah, he's a special guy. Yeah, but I know there's going to be some there. I would suspect at
Meadowlands in New Jersey.
Yeah, Meadowlands is going to. I think there's going to be a couple games there, or maybe one of the groups is going to play all their shit there. I would have said Soldier Field because they played those back in the '94 World Cup, but I don't think so because they're redoing it, right? Aren't they moving it right now?
I think so.
It's like getting rebuilt, so maybe not there. LA for sure.
Yeah. Miami
For sure. Maybe Seattle. They play at the Seahawks Stadium up there, and that I've actually seen matches up there. It's pretty dope.
Did you see when the Columbia played in Miami? There was people sneaking into the stadium.
Oh, wow.
It was the fucking crazy.
Were they on rafts and shit? Or?
Yeah, they broke through the gates, and they couldn't keep the people who didn't get tickets out.
I bet you couldn't get a DoorDash or a cab anywhere in the fucking city. Jesus Christ. That's really funny. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I like when they bring stuff to America, and it's always a good opportunity for cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco to clean up. You know,
right? Like when the Chinese president came, and all of a sudden San Francisco was the cleanest city in the country.
Yeah, it's almost like
I wonder what they did with the homeless people.
I don't know, whatever Bernie Carrick and fucking Rudy did back in the day. They just, like, Penn Station was full of homeless people.
It still is.
And like, there was a period where it wasn't. And like 1997, it was full of homeless people, and then in '99, nothing.
Interesting.
Right.
I didn't even notice that.
Until like somewhere. There was a blip when Bloomberg took over after Giuliani, and that's when Bloomberg initiated the stop, question, and frisk, which everybody blames on Republicans, but he's not
Democrat.
a Republican. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the stop, question, and frisk thing came back because there's just like retards running around doing dumb shit, and then it fucking went down again.
Yeah.
And now it's obviously with De Blasio and Adams. It's
and then we're gonna have
again.
that. Well, not we, because I got out, but they're gonna have Masrani. As
Mamdani?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's going to make government issued grocery stores because that's always good.
Yeah. I mean, if you can go to the DMV and then say that I want this organization in charge of my food.
That's exactly what I tell people all the time.
Yeah. It's like, then you deserve it, bud.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I've got very little sympathy for anybody that can't see the problem with that.
Yeah. I'm always like, name one government run thing that is going well. DMV, USPS. If I get a package and it says USPS is sending it, I'll go, all right.
Yeah, we'll see.
See it when I see it.
We'll see, yeah. It's like, I don't know if you've traveled much to Italy.
No.
But I've spent fucking a lot of time over there, and you absolutely cannot use their mail service because they just steal it. Like if you're American and you're trying to mail something back to yourself, they're just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
He's never coming back. What's he gonna do? So you got to use like DHL or something.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's just a travel tip. This isn't the fucking Today Show, but
Italian stealing? Get out of here.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah. So your parents still live up there?
Well, my mom passed when I was young, but my dad still lives up there. But he's moving to Florida soon. He's getting the fuck out. He's retired. He was CO for a long time at Rikers, and then he was a personal bodyguard for a couple rich people. And now he works at Yankee Stadium because he can't fucking stop working. And I'm like, you need to stop working, go to Florida, get a boat, and just fucking enjoy life.
And go to fucking, don't go to Marlins games. Because, you'd be the only one there.
I like Marlins games because
they're fun. You can go. You
get to sit wherever you want.
You can sit wherever you want. I don't understand how a stadium in Little Havana can't fill up for a baseball game. It doesn't make any sense.
But if they start putting soccer games down there, they're going to make a lot of fun.
Maybe they should definitely at least, where does Miami play? I don't even know.
I think they have their own stadium.
So have you talked to any of your friends and family about this literal communist that's running for office?
My dad's going fucking apeshit right now. I mean, I got out just in time, but I'll be honest with you, because I'm friends with a lot of like liberal, a lot of New York comics are liberal. They're fucking in the streets for him, promoting him on podcasts and stuff like that. And I'm just like me, I'm a libertarian, so like it's my team's never gonna win. It's like being a Mets fan, but like at the end of the day, I'm like, this is not good for this. This is a capitalist city. There's no way that this city
it's
runs.
the capitalist city.
Yeah, it's a definition of capitalism. That's the reason why it's such a great city. And like, I see these people going, oh well, you know, if the rich don't like it, they could just get out. I'm like, you think New York is gonna run exactly the way you think New York runs without rich people? Like, this is a rich there's a reason why you have to make $400,000 a year to live in the city. Otherwise, it's gonna go to shit.
Oh my God. Well, so.
But he did say one thing though, and he did say one thing that I think what won him a lot of people. Because I don't know if you saw the debate when they were asking everybody where they were going to go after they won, and everyone said Israel, 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 and he goes, I'm going to stay in New York because I'm the mayor of New York, which is a great answer. Like, you want your mayor to stay in the city that he's the mayor of.
Yeah, you'd think so. I don't know why did Adams go to Israel for some reason? No, he went somewhere else. Wasn't he under federal investigation for like some kind of deal?
I think he was just out partying. I don't think he was actually going anywhere.
Maybe.
That guy was the fucking worst.
Yeah, he may be the mayor again. We'll see, I guess.
Is he going to run Republican now?
He's running as an independent. Oh, no, something like that. I don't remember. No, he's running as independent, yeah, because that fucking Guardian Angel dick is running as a Republican.
What's he doing?
I don't know. He's just wasting time.
He's just a guy who goes on the subway and doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
No one's ever been saved by a Guardian Angel.
No. I mean, I doubt it. Maybe in the fucking 70s.
If I'm about to get jumped into there's 4 70-year-old guys in red hats and that's the only thing saving me, I'm just gonna say a prayer and be like, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah. So you grew up in the Bronx. What's the libertarian thing from? Where did that come from?
Ron Paul, when he ran the first time, well, not the first time, but when he ran in, I think it was the 2008 election, I remember watching him, and like some of the stuff he was saying, I was like, damn, this guy's got some good points. Because I was watching him at the Republican National Convention when he walked in there and like he was just it was kind of like what Trump did in 2016 when he walked in and annihilated. It was like the same annihilation, but not funny. Just like, this guy's proving good points. And then I got more and more into that ideology where I love so much about libertarian. There's obviously some things that I don't love. You know, like I don't think a society with no taxes works. I think there is benefits to that, but like, you know, like the anti-aggression policy and like, you know, like going around the world and like, you know, occupying these places is at some point going to piss people the fuck off. Like if you occupy, like he said it perfectly. He's like, if China occupied us and set up, you know, like missiles on the borders of Canada, Mexico, and, you know, for 50 years, you know, put in shadow governments. At some point, if we did something about it, it'd be weird if they're like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
You know?
This episode of Citizen is brought to you by our title sponsor, Omaha Steaks. Best steaks in the business, the oldest butcher in America, America's original butcher since 1917. A family-owned company with 100 years of expertise in the meat industry, and look, they've got everything. Mouth-watering burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, and even desserts. They got some sides on there, too. You know how I feel about sides, but they have them. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef has more marbling for exceptional flavor and is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. There's nothing quite like the unforgettable taste of a summer cookout. And as the summer heats up, the blazing hot sale is the perfect time to stock up and save on exceptional handcrafted flavor and convenience. Make your summer sizzle with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their blazing hot sale. And for an extra $45 off, use the promo code CITIZEN at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $45 off with the promo code CITIZEN at checkout. See site for details. And it's not just for you. It can be given as a gift as well. I've given a couple of gifts over the last couple of weeks of this. It's an easy stocking stuffer during the holidays, but even birthdays and all the things that come up during your life where you want to do something nice for somebody, for your dad, for the man in your life, or to make your wife's life easier by having a constant supply of meat coming to the house so she doesn't have to do all that grocery shopping, whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. Go to omahasteaks.com to get 50% off site-wide during their blazing hot sale. Use the promo code CITIZEN at checkout for an additional $45 off. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details. And a big thanks to our advertiser, Omaha Steaks. This episode is also brought to you by First Form, firstform.com/Drinking Bros, the best protein in the business. Protein is the building block of life, folks. I say it all the time. You replace every cell in your body over the course of 2 to 10 years, depending on how active you are, how much you eat, and how clean you eat. And if you're replacing it with garbage, you're going to be garbage. So make sure you're eating the best possible protein you can and supplementing with First Form. Don't forget about the micro factors. It's just a little simple pack. Open it up, dump it in your mouth hole, and feel better. You know, they've got the liver detox, which is a great thing for people that like to drink or people who, just want to be healthier. And then they have all these other supplements. They've got great pre-workouts. They've got great protein in all the flavors. And then, of course, for people on the go like us, they have exceptional meat sticks, protein sticks, and a variety of different flavors. And then the level 1 protein bars in a variety of flavors as well. That we talk about this stuff all the time. They're great. So go to firstform.com/Drinking Bros. It's the best company in the world. You've seen us with Andy. You've seen the company. We love these guys. It's a very American company. So go support them and support us. Firstform.com/Drinking Bros. That's OneStPHORM.com/Drinking Bros. Yeah. Sure, yeah. I mean, I see that. And I'm, as somebody who is one of the people that has to go fight these wars, I would prefer them to be good. Like, actually follow just war theory and not just be nonsense. We're in a bit of a pickle now because, to your point from before, we know what would happen. Russia tried to put fucking missiles in Cuba, and we almost had World War III, right? Mm-hmm. So we know what the fuck's going to happen. That's completely unacceptable. And the way that we've aggressed Russia is stupid. Right.
Yeah,
Scott Horton wrote a good book about it called Provoked.
Scott Horton's the fucking man.
Yeah. Sometimes he hangs out with this fucking Nazi dude, but sometimes he's a really smart guy, and I like his books. I'll say that.
I'm a big fan of him and Dave Smith. Both. Great.
Dave is on foreign policy. Dave is basically a retarded person.
You don't like it?
No.
No,
like the whole thing with Iran, right? Couldn't have been more wrong, and then the way that they respond to that is that, Trump didn't do more because of like, no, dude, you were just wrong. Just say you're wrong. But Horton's book Provoked is great. Completely lays out how promises were made by the Americans, by NATO, etc., that we weren't going to encroach on Russian territory. Just to your point, and in the meantime, Russia has been running influence operations inside the U.S. the whole time. So it's not like they're fucking innocent either, and they're mad that we installed a puppet in Zelensky, but they're only mad because we overthrew their puppet. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's I'm often torn on this issue, and especially with China as well, because they're buying up all kinds of American farmland, real estate, like near military bases. They've got secret police headquarters over here that are fucking harassing Chinese citizens that live here, threatening to kill their family back home if they don't spy for us. They steal about $600 billion worth of our intellectual property.
Wasn't there a situation recently, too, where there was some guy, I think he was Chinese, and he snuck through the border to poison our grain. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, they were university students at... Was it University of Chicago or something? Or they were researchers. They weren't students. They were researchers. They brought over what is effectively blight, if you know what that is. Blight.
Heard of it, yeah.
Like if you've seen Interstellar, the thing that made all the crops die, it's that, right? So that's not great.
No.
And then the richest dude in China just bought some fucking other thing here in the U.S. It's like everybody's playing these games right now. This is something that I like to talk to libertarians about, actually, because the current set, forget about Russia because they're a paper tiger. We shouldn't even be talking about them, in my opinion.
I agree.
But China's cutouts right now are North Korea and Iran, and Iran's cutouts, Houthi, Hezbollah, Hamas. and their partner country, Iraq, also, we created that problem. As a matter of fact, we created the Iran problem. Well, we didn't create shit. My great-grandfather may have, or something like that. I didn't have anything to do with that, so I goddamn am not going to suffer the consequences. I'll kill all these people. I don't give a shit. But this is what China's doing, and they've maintained control of Suez and the Panama Canal. They own 65% of all global rare earth mineral rights, 65% of them. They're trying to box us out, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder what the red line for us is going to be then. Because they're like, if you're in a war, one of the first things you want to do
Control the resources.
is control resources. General Pershing in World War I said that soldiers win battles, but logistics win wars, and that's a fact. And China's clearly positioning themselves to try to cut us off in whatever way they can. So I wonder from your perspective, because I agree with the anti-aggression policy.
Is it in their interest, though, being, owning so much debt in this country?
They only own like 6% of our debt.
Is it really that much?
Yeah. It's not that much. They own more farmland than they do debt.
Sure.
Which we could seize whenever we want, to be honest. But
I don't know. Since you're military, you might know a lot better about this than I do. But from what I've heard, like, obviously you said Russia's paper tag, from what I hear, they're working with a lot of old style weaponry, like.
Oh, China's not a military match for us. That's why they're doing all this other stuff.
So it's an economic way of going about it.
Yeah, they would. If we went to war with China, it would be over in a matter of weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, because the
problem, like World War II like age weaponry, like their tanks and stuff.
They've got some stuff from the 60s and 70s too. Like, but they say they have. A 5th gen fighter, for example, that's going to come out soon. It's just like a copy of our old 5th gen fighter, but at an 80% solution. And our old 5th gen fighters from the 80s. You know what I mean? We've got a 6th gen fighter that has full spectrum AI on it now.
Yeah.
Where it can identify like gait recognition. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Like from a satellite, it can tell who you are by how you walk.
That I didn't know. Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so it's got all this other crazy bullshit on it. I mean, our battle carriers and our Trident subs, they have no chance. And they know that as well as we do, right? That's why they're doing all this other...
Yeah, from what I heard, the second biggest air force in the world is our Navy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Which is insane.
And like the 5th biggest air force is our Marine Corps, I believe. Yeah, something like that.
Wasn't Pepsi at one point like the 3rd biggest?
Pepsi?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they've got.
I think that's where we got a lot of our aircraft from.
I don't know. I've never heard that. That's funny though. Yeah, that's that would be really funny if that were true. But yeah, it's like they know they're not a match for us head on, so they're doing all this other shit, right? Which is why they've been.
And they're in Africa too.
Oh yeah. I'm like that. The reason they're in Africa is for rare earth minerals. So they own. Something like, I don't know what the percentage is, but a bulk of Canada's rare earth mineral rights.
China does.
Yeah, yeah, and they own them all over the world, South America and Africa.
So they're making moves.
So I guess the question is, what should America do about that? Because we, technically speaking, we have the ability to mine our own resources. We don't have to go anywhere if we don't want to. We've got lithium and cobalt here. We have oil more than anybody here, right? We've got food here. We don't necessarily have to do anything. But what should we do is the question. Like, what's a red line? If you're, like, I like to break it down in the lowest possible terms. So if you're a dude that's a good fighter and everybody knows it, so nobody's going to come at you straight, how much are you going to let somebody sneak up on you before you turn around?
How long will you let someone piss on your head before you do something about it?
Right. I mean, it's a fair question because in personal terms, you should probably immediately address it. But in global terms, we're not going to respond to every single thing because it's just not worth it, right? But there is a point where you have to say, okay, you guys are fucking trying to set up shop. Like the fentanyl in Mexico comes from China. It's not, Mexicans are not doing that.
No,
the cartels are getting it from China.
That's just the throughway. Yeah. I mean, I've been this way with libertarianism because like there's some people who are completely anti-aggression in the sense where like we should be isolationists, which I don't agree with. I actually think that they're like part of being anti-aggression is also just not policing the world, like in a sense, like wars that don't need to, like getting involved in other people's battles that don't need to happen. But at the same time, when it becomes a direct threat to us, we have every right to absolutely do something about it. Like I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, just live and let live. No, because then it's gonna fuck up. We're gonna get fucked up. Like obviously we live in a place that we're lucky as fuck because geographically we're amazing for war and for our minerals and for all our natural resources. But at a certain point, if it becomes a direct threat to the American way of life, I am fully on board with.
Yeah, but then it's like I go back and forth on this one because America became great by outsourcing our spending power, basically, right? So during World War II, the Lend-Lease thing, we were given we were selling weapons to England, which a lot of people are mad that we're continuing to send stuff over to Ukraine. It's like, well, NATO countries are paying for it now, so why do I care about that?
Sure.
Like I would prefer that Russia and Ukraine sort this out because I don't want fucking people to die for no reason, typically speaking, right? But it's none of my fucking business either.
Yeah.
And I guess you could make the point that giving or selling them weapons is contributing or prolonging the fact. I guess I don't know. I don't really care about that either. As long as I'm not paying for it, I don't give a fuck.
That's
right?
fair. Do you think that there's a possible way that they're doing this to try and destabilize Russia in a sense? Like,
yeah, I guess, but Russia's the one that fucking popped off first, right?
Sure.
So this is the thing with everybody that calls what's happening at Gaza a fucking Holocaust or whatever the fuck they're saying, genocide. Yeah. Like, come on, man. No, you're losing a war. You started a war and you're getting your shit pushed in, and now you're crying. You're the little brother. You started a fight with Big Brother. Big Brother's whipping your ass, and now you want Dad to come save you. It's like, no, you fucking take your medicine, bitch. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I don't love what's happening. Like that. That's another one where
that's the worst situation in the world.
Yeah,
like there's no like people that are talking about two states and all this stuff. Nope, that'll never happen.
Because that's the thing. Like when people I remember at the beginning of it, a lot of my liberal comic friends like, why are you not posting on social media about this? And I'm like, honestly, because number one, the IDF's not gonna be like, oh that Jack comedian in New York said something. We need to put our weapons down. And also, like at the same time, this is a war, and this has been beef that's gone on since before Christ. Like, there's not a point that I have. Like, this is not like a typical war where it's about like land, like land and that's like it is land, but it's also at a religious level. So it's more than just a regular war. So the fact that it's not like your typical thing. And I mean, there's obviously, I don't love the fact that, Israel, like Dave Smith actually said it pretty perfect. Like, like the Hoot party, it's Netanyahu's party. Forgot the name.
Oh yeah. I don't know the name of those.
Like, they had ever since back in the day, Netanyahu's wanted to destabilize 7 different countries, and one of the last ones at the end is Iran. Which is like, I don't love the idea of us doing the bidding for another country.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be looked at as the pit bull at the front gate, us funding their healthcare, us funding, all their stuff. Like, because without our funding, it's hard for them to even exist as a country.
Is it? Or they just tell us that? Because it seems like they do pretty well. They own like the bulk of major pharmaceutical patents are owned by Israel, right? That's actually the thing that we get most, U.S., aside from just intelligence, the thing that we get most from them is pharmaceutical stuff.
Sure.
They make plenty of fucking money. They don't need our money. What they need is us to be associated with them for our military threat in reality. And yeah, I don't give 2 fucks about Israel or if it exists or not, honestly.
Yeah. And them hiding.
Same thing with Ukraine. If you can't figure it out, then get fucked, dude. I'm not it's not my problem.
I hate the idea of going over to these places and doing their bidding for them. It's especially, I don't love the idea of a point where U.S. like men from the U.S. are gonna have to go to these places and lose their because I don't like to look at them as numbers. I'm like, these are people with wives and families and stuff like that. And it's like the idea of them losing, like someone losing their life, like we've done in the past, like for another country. Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's stupid. I mean, they always couch it in a different way, obviously, but one of the prevailing theories on the libertarian side is that we went to Iraq on behalf of Israel. I don't really buy that because Dick Cheney was the Secretary of Defense when we helped essentially bring Saddam Hussein into power. and Rumsfeld was his deputy. Like
Do you feel like
there's all the
him
pictures of
dying
them
was a
shaking
net
hands.
positive or net?
No, it's always a net negative. People, this is what people don't understand.
That's what I agree.
Bring it back to the thing about policing your own. You know what I mean? The other part of it is culture.
Yeah.
If I'm in the Middle East and I'm interrogating somebody, very frequently I've got to like slap the fuck out of this dude, and I don't mean figuratively. I literally have to slap him in the face because I have to alpha him, otherwise he won't talk to me.
Sure.
It's not like I'm trying to abuse the dude. He literally, it's cultural. He won't talk to me.
Yeah.
Like it gives him making myself the alpha gives him permission to talk to me now.
Okay.
Which is kind of fucked up. It's not how we do things.
No.
Well, I mean, sometimes we do, right?
Yeah.
But you know,
It's a mafia way of doing it.
Yeah, but it's like that's how it is for everybody over there in these shithole countries. And what did we think we were going to do? Fucking have some little sing-along, a kumbaya, and then everybody's just going to get along afterwards? That's retarded nonsense, man. It's, again, the neocons can't figure this shit out. You can't police other people.
No, because like that whole thing, and the way I look at it, especially with Saddam, was like, don't get me wrong, by no means am I saying he was a good person. But at the same time, it's kind of like the Pablo Escobar situation. So like in Colombia, when Pablo Escobar was in charge, there wasn't hundreds of thousands of gangs, you know, running rampant, trying to all come for the throne because he had them in check. And as soon as we killed him, now Colombia is plagued with all these gangs trying to take over, which kind of seems like a much bigger version of what happened after Saddam went out.
I mean, it took the West 700 years from the Magna Carta to the Declaration of Independence to really figure out what self-governance meant. You know what I mean? That we didn't need kings necessarily. It took 500, let's call it 500 years, right?
Yeah.
Of actively trying. The Magna Carta is the northern barons telling the king that, like, hey, we got rights to, but just the barons, not the fucking plebs, obviously.
Sure.
Fuck these guys. And then, you know, sometime, a couple of hundred years later, this group of people called the Levelers write a document called an Agreement of the People, and it sort of took the Magna Carta and made it for everybody. Like, everybody's got individual, like, rights don't get bestowed to you from the government; they're natural, right?
By force,
right? It's like, and you have to do something to take them. And the statement was, the individual has the right to redress against its government or ruler or whomever it is. And then 150 or so years after that, I think, is the Declaration of Independence, where people that owned slaves still, fair enough, but said all men deserve this, right? And it was the idea that mattered, not the execution of it. I think that's something that people get tripped up on a lot. But it took 500 fucking years for that process to take place in English culture, which is what we are, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of where you're from, even to some degree until the 16th century, Rome was heavily informed by English culture, and then vice versa, you know what I mean? And then afterwards with the Byzantines, heavily influenced by English culture. But here in America, the idea of property rights and individual liberty and shit like that is an English idea.
Yeah, it's also Christian too.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've got a whole fucking thing on this. Following the right now I'm recording a 25-part series on the history of the Constitution, all the way back, right?
Yeah.
From like several hundred years before it. And then the second part is a 15-part series on how it lines up with the Protestant Reformation specifically. Like Martin Luther's idea wasn't that Catholics are bad people. It's like, hey, you guys have developed a lot of ceremonial stuff, and fair enough.
Sure.
But you're telling people they're going to go to hell if they don't do it, and it's not in this book. So that's a problem for me. You know what I mean? That was the whole argument.
Yeah, a lot of what we go by is still the core tenets of like the Ten Commandments, like not stealing, killing, stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's like there's a big connection between those things. So it took all this time to figure this shit out, and we think that in 5 years we're going to go topple some regime whose ideology comes from the 7th century.
Never going to happen.
And they're just going to figure it out. They haven't been trying. You know what I mean? There are some countries that are. Jordan, Bahrain, to some lesser degree, the UAE has made a lot of progress in like actual human rights and stuff like that.
Lebanon too, right?
It's back and forth. It depends on the part of the country. I mean, they're in a civil fucking war right now.
Sure.
But
it is crazy to look back at like because I have some friends from Lebanon. They showed me like pictures of what it looked like.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
Even Iran.
It looked like Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, Iran was pretty dope in the 70s.
Yeah, I saw that too. Like it was literally women wearing bikinis and stuff like that on the beach, and you're like, wow, this is. Yeah. But also the idea that we're gonna go in there and change things.
That's not gonna happen. Here's what America can do. America can use soft power. This is what we did with the Marshall Plan, right? So and in Japan, we butt fuck Europe and Japan. We nuked Japan twice.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, all right, we're gonna let you guys siphon off of our economy for a while until you build your own. And now Japan is the third largest economy on earth.
Yeah.
And Germany was the fourth before all this
craziness.
Muslim bullshit that's going on over there. I don't know what they're doing now.
Are they allowed to have a military now?
Germany? Oh yeah. Yeah, they've actually got some pretty good special operators over there.
Yeah, they're pretty known for having good militaries.
Yeah. Well,
pretty good at that.
Yeah. They've got some really good special operators. I don't know about their regular military folk, but their special operators are good. But yeah, like it took a very long time for us to figure this out. Hundreds of years, generations and generations of actively trying to figure it out, right? And the best way, the reason that I think it finally took a leap forward was the economic part, right?
Yeah.
Unleashing the individual, like with, instead of the government being a device to tax people and to some degree protect them, it became a safe haven for people to unleash their own ingenuity. That's what America was, right? People just started making shit and selling it to everywhere, and it was like, oh, we don't have to fucking go crazy anymore.
That's why the idea of making like a place like New York socialist, like capitalism. I was trying to talk to someone about that. Like one of the things that drives people is monetary gain. You know, like the reason why even some people, an immigrant comes to this country and goes for a job as a doctor, they came here because they want a better financial way of life. And if you remove that financial aspect of it, where it's like, you know, if we want, like, there's just people who want everyone to get paid equal. It's like, well, what's the point of someone being a doctor then? What's the point of someone creating this when you could just make the same amount doing something a lot less intensive?
Why are you going to go to school for 8 years and then another 4 years of residency to become a doctor and make $65,000 a year?
It's only going to be just really nice people.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the best, and it's not going to, that's the reason why we, like, these, you know, I have friends that live in countries where they have free healthcare, but like at the same time, like for an elective surgery, they're going to come here. Like there's a reason why you come here for that. Like,
yeah, socialism is stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People aren't equal.
No.
And pretending that they are doesn't do anybody any favors. As a matter of fact, it hurts most people.
Do you think some of that comes from the participation trophy generations where everyone's equal? And
sure, but I think it started back in the early part of the 20th century. Actually, the late part of the 19th century with the labor movement. That's when Marxism kind of infiltrated the U.S. government. I mean,
sure.
We've had under Woodrow Wilson, the top marginal tax rate went up to 90%, right, during World War I. It's like this stuff's been going on for a long time. And then, of course, 20 years after him, 15 years after him, the New Deal from fucking FDR came out. It's like the government's now in charge of your retirement plan. What the fuck? Who the fuck agreed to this shit? You know what I mean? Very wild stuff. But it's been going on for a long time. And yeah, I think it's the function of Marxism isn't the particular ideology. It's about power, really, right? If you strip all this stuff away, what would be the purpose of the government being in charge of your fucking money?
Yeah.
Like the government's a pimp. Yeah. I'll keep all the money. If you need some, let me know and I'll give it to you. That's literally about power and control. And that's what Marxism has always been about. That's why they call everything racist or oppressive or sexist or whatever until they own it. Yeah. And then it's fine. That's what these land acknowledgements are all about. It's like, oh, we're standing on stolen land. It's like, okay, well, give it back. You own that fucking property. Give it back, you fucking dummy.
That one drives me
like give me the keys to your house. Yeah. And I'll go find a nice native family and give it to them.
They're like, what? It's like, what are you still doing here? And it's like, also one of the things that those people who say stuff like that, when they're like, oh, white people should go back to Europe, and it's like, okay, so you think that everybody should just go back to? So you're telling me, so all the people, black people in Europe and all the Muslims should by your ideology, those people should get out of the land that they don't belong
Well,
to.
even the so-called Native Americans have to go back to Siberia because they crossed a land bridge about 12,000 years ago to come here. So
Bering Strait, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
And do you give it back to the people, to
the polar bears.
to the Cherokee who who defeated people before them and before them? Like, how far back do we go?
I think we should just have a tournament. Let's call it war, and whoever wins gets to keep the. Oh shit, that's what we did.
That'd be sick if they did that.
That's what we did.
No, if they did that at UFC at the White House.
Yeah, that would be really funny.
Yeah, with the communism and the socialism thing, like I talked to all my friends who are into it about it, and it's just like, in what way? Because all of them don't trust the government, right? And it's like, so you don't trust these people, but you for some reason want to give them more power. That's almost like when people say that they're afraid of a dictator, like they call Trump a dictator, but they also want to give up the Second Amendment. So it's like, you think that someone's a dictator, and what we should also do is we should also give up the way of fighting a dictatorship.
Yeah.
What is the mindset behind that?
It's something called the is-ought fallacy. This is something that a lot of people fall victim to. Probably all of us, actually, to some degree, but these people at the macro level, like, it informs their entire worldview. So there is the way things are, the is, and the way things ought to be. And they think those two are the same. It's like, that is not reality, right? Like, oh, everything should be fair. It's like, okay, maybe. Yeah. I don't know that I even agree with that, but let's say it's true. Then what evil do you have to do to make everything fair? Because it's never good. It requires constant authoritarianism to make things fair. So people have this worldview that is completely captured by the idea that things ought to be a certain way. And it's like, sometimes you can go into the world and affect things, right?
Which would be lovely.
Yeah. Sometimes you can go apply your labor to the earth, extract wealth from it, and use that wealth to do the thing that you want to do. We call that fucking being a human being. And capitalism, right? But for the vast majority of the time, it's just not. That's not a thing. You know what I mean? It's that is not something that really is possible in life. So you can try to change ought or is into ought sometimes. Like there's work to be done. There's certainly, like, we can always improve even in our own lives. But if you think that things just ought to be some kind of way, and then get angry with people who don't agree with you, or angry with people who aren't trying to actively invoke this new ought, it's like, that's a completely unreasonable. That's a pathology, right? You're a retarded person at this point. You're living in a fucking fantasy. That's the way a child thinks.
Well, that's why, like, I understand where people are coming from when they say we should have free healthcare. Like, that would be fucking awesome. There's no such thing as free healthcare because, it's still coming from the taxes. But even if you look at these places that have free healthcare, most of those places are subsidized. They don't have to have a military because they're an alliance with the United States, and they don't have to pay, all these billions of dollars a year towards the military. And we're basically, again, another watchdog for another place, which I hate. And they get to have all these cool, fancy programs, and we would too if we didn't have to fucking be everyone else's military. But also, it's still not free at the end of the day.
No, I mean, I like. I've been talking about this a lot on the shows lately, but there's that one's a good version of the is-ought because you can address it directly and you can bring it back down to the root level and show them where the disconnect is. So somebody says to me, we should have free health care. I'm like, all right, take a beat.
Yeah.
In my opinion, what they're actually saying, unless they're just a full-blown communist, most people are not that. What they're actually saying is that in the richest country in the history of the world, it's probably unethical for us to tell citizens who pay taxes that you can only be as healthy as you can afford to be. That is an unethical thing to say to somebody, right? So now we're talking about the solution to that problem. Do we then put the government in charge of yet another thing that gives them control over us? That's an unacceptable thing for me, right? And you have this conversation with people, and they'll try to point, well, this country. I don't want to hear about any other country.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the facts as they are on the ground. What What job have we given government in the last 100 years?
This country the size of New Jersey.
Yeah, seriously. What job have we given government that they performed well or even efficiently, right? Nothing. I mean, they tried to run a healthcare website and it fucking crashed for 2 months or some shit. It's like they can't even figure out the basics. And the reason is because if the government fails at something, they just try again with your money.
Yep.
They get bailed out literally every single time. There's no way the government doesn't get bailed out. But with a private business, if it fails, it goes away and somebody better comes in.
Yep.
We don't have that in government, so you should let the private sector handle that. Now, I'm not saying to give them full reign over everything because they're a bunch of predatory cunts as well. The biggest lawsuits in history that didn't involve governments were pharmaceutical companies. And it's not even close, right? Like the 10 largest. So, yeah, these people are predators. So let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Let government do what it's supposed to do, which is protect us from existential threats, not give us services. That's not there's nothing in the Constitution about the goddamn government managing our retirement account and our health care. What the fuck? Why would you ever even expect that? No, their job is to protect us from outside existential threats.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yep.
Right. So, and if you want to consider the pharmaceutical industry one of those, good. All right, let's do that.
That's why, like exactly what you said, name something that they've done great. Is why I stopped being a conspiracy theorist. Because I was definitely a conspiracy theorist when I was younger, and then I went, hey, if they can't even pull off a government health website, what makes you think that they could do this? They could do that. You know, that they could pull off something like 9/11 or something like that. But somehow, at the same time, they can't run the DMV.
Yeah. Now, there's definitely a lot of conspiracies in government, but the idea that, like, George Bush, who almost died eating pretzels, is some kind of fucking mastermind. Like, come on, man. No. Like, there's stuff, they're like, people at the agency are pulling shit all the time. Like, they killed JFK. I have no doubt about that. But yeah, I agree. There's like some of the, like, people at the same time, and I think this is another one of those odd things. People just don't challenge their fundamental ideology ever. Yeah. You can simultaneously believe that this group is completely incompetent, but also that they're the boogeyman. Sure. It can't be both. Like, Trump can't be the dumbest dude in the world
and an evil
and
genius.
Also an evil genius. Can't be both. He's probably more like Mastermind, that fucking, what was it, Will Ferrell cartoon or whatever. It's like, yeah, he's gets a lot of stuff right. Probably a little retarded. Yeah, just like the rest of us.
He's like Michael Scott from The Office.
Yeah.
Where like somehow it just works out. And like, good for him.
Yeah, he's like, I was talking to somebody on the phone about this the other day. I think called him a social Mr. Magoo.
Yeah, exactly.
He just like kind of fucking stumbles into success all the time. Like, all right, good. Well, I mean, you know.
It's like what you were saying with the Iran thing. Like, that could have went horrible, but.
How do you think it could have gone horribly?
Like, just engaging more in the Middle East that we don't need to. Like, when I say horribly, like starting up a war, especially since, you know, like you said, like China has a alcove in Iran, and like these countries, like getting involved in something and making it turn into something possible. I didn't think World War III was actually going to happen, but I thought it could, you know, start really revving things up a little bit more.
I think we're probably in World War III.
I've heard that
to be
before.
Honest. I've heard that. And I think it's just fifth generation warfare. It's more information and economics and resources now than it is direct conflict. But to the Iran thing, one of the things that Smith kept saying was that Iran has escalatory dominance in the region. That is fucking stupid. Yeah, they don't have dominance in anything anywhere on Earth, not even in their own country. Yeah. The fucking tiny hat dude snuck into their country with a bunch of drones, like 10 miles away from their fucking biggest nuclear base. Yeah. And just like fucking joystick their way into explode. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't have escalatory dominance anywhere.
That's also why I don't even see them as a threat. Like
Iran, no, not really. So, but I think it's an important thing to make sure they don't become a threat, because China wants that. China wants another dog out there. It's what they did with North Korea in the 90s.
Yeah. It was just weird to me because, like, with Tulsi Gabbard's reports at the beginning of the year saying that they weren't a threat, and then right before, you know, this all happened, all of a sudden they were a threat, and I was like, what happened in that short time span was a little odd.
A couple of things happened. One is a bunch of Chinese scientists came over to the so-called space program in Iran, and they were just trying to build ICBMs. That's the part that launched it for us, in my opinion. I don't know if they've ever tried to make that case, but it's one thing to try to enrich fissile material. It's another thing to try to make the rocket that can deliver it, right? Sure. Because Iran would be no threat to us with 60% enriched uranium. That's no threat to us.
No, isn't there radius of what they could actually do? Like, doesn't even reach Israel?
No, it wouldn't. I don't think so. Not with a tactical nuke or anything like that. But this is a mistake that Clinton made in the 90s. North Korea was trying to do the same thing that Iran's doing now. Mm-hmm. And China really wanted into the World Trade Organization. And Clinton, if he had been a normal human being and not getting his dick sucked by fat Jews, that's not a commentary about Jews, by the way. She just happened to be. Yeah. If he was actually doing his goddamn job, he would have said, okay, China, you can come into the WTO, but you're going to stop North Korea from developing these nukes now. And you're going to stop stealing our intellectual property and stop spying on it, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do any of that. He just let them in and said, hey, do your best, guys. Like, what the fuck?
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he also sell uranium to Iran?
I don't remember if Clinton did that or not. It's possible. I mean, we sold fucking chemical weapons to Saddam Hussein, so why not? You know what I mean? But yeah, these foreign entanglements, we do it the wrong way. And you can tell, like, it doesn't benefit rich people to make other people rich necessarily in other places. It benefits them to create chaos so they can sell the solution to chaos. That's what the military-industrial complex does.
But one of the things that Ron Paul talked about that I loved when I was younger was the blowback theory.
Yeah. Every single time. So there's a direct line. We destabilized Iran in 1953, and then destabilize again in the 1970s, and the Shah gets overthrown for Khomeini, and then we have to help Saddam come into power to fucking battle back against them, because Saddam is Sunni Ba'ath Party, like Syria, right? So he's going to fight against them, and then we have to help Jaish al-Mahdi, the Mahdi army, to help fight internally against Saddam, and then we have to create this group called, I actually helped train these dudes, Sons of Iraq, to fight against Jaish al-Mahdi. Sons of Iraq is what became ISIS.
Oh, shit.
Like 4 years later.
Damn.
So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It all equals bullshit. We did the same thing in Afghanistan with the Mujahideen, turning them into Al-Qaeda. We've done this over and over.
Yeah, we fund radicals around the world, and then we're shocked when they don't like us afterwards.
Yeah. It's like the things we've done with economic power, the Marshall Plan in Europe, the economic restoration in Japan, the economic restoration in South Korea. South Korea is one of the top technological countries on earth. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So
they're nuts.
The economic benefit stuff that we've done has been wildly successful. Mm-hmm. The times we've tried to use force to interdict, whether it was in the Middle East or Afghanistan or whether it was in South and Central America, it's been fucked every single time. We've created terrorist organizations and cartels and all this fucking bullshit when all we had to do was say, hey, my dudes over here, they like fucking cool, cheap shit. Mm-hmm. You can sell it to us if you stop acting like cunts. Yeah. And that would have been the end of it, to be honest.
But it also doesn't help the immigration situation, because when a place is destabilized, then all of a sudden we're taking them in. And then the people at, like in these lower income neighborhoods that have to deal with a new influx of
That's
whole
the thing
type
that
of
fucking
people.
Makes me mad, dude. Like you grew up in a place that has a lot of immigrants isn't the right word for it, although people did come over a lot. But it was like people,
stabilized people,
people who were destabilized in their home country that came here to fucking chill. Yeah, you know what I mean. So think about the Venezuelan or El Salvadoran person who came here to escape Tren de Aragua or MS-13. They fucking packed their whole family up, maybe lost an uncle or a kid on the way, right? Spent all their money just to come here to get away from those assholes, and then 20 years later, Joe Biden's sleepy ass lets that same motherfucker that was terrorizing them in their home country come here too.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck does that say about America that we allowed that to happen?
And we're just letting them walk right in the door. And it's not even like even the Middle East. Like my old neighborhood, Morris Park, is used to be like when my dad grew up there, super Italian, like only Italians live there. Now I mean, then when I was older, Albanians came to the neighborhood. We got along.
I like Albanians.
Good. Yeah.
The old school European Muslims are not like the Middle Eastern Muslims or the North Africans.
I went to my old neighborhood the other day, and like I'm walking down the street, and this
like
used
the
to
Serbs
be,
and the Albanians and shit. They're not like
no, it's different.
Yeah, it's a completely different culture.
But I'm walking down the street, and because the whole neighborhood changed over the past, because the Bronx is usually the first part of New York that gets you could tell who's going to be the next influx of immigrants. And there's a lot of people coming from the Middle East, and it's like a place that used to be like Italian, like now they have like a lamb hanging in the front window, and there's like I'm walking down the street that used to be all Italians hanging out outside of place, and there's burqas and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm like, this is direct impact of what we're doing around. Like, this is what happens when you do these things around the world. Then these people want a safe place to go.
Yeah.
And like those two cultures don't mix, Italian and Muslim culture.
No, definitely not.
You know,
definitely not. Yeah.
But I mean, the Italians, they do the thing where they just go, all right, I'm moving to Florida.
Yeah. Well, you didn't really have much of a choice up there, to be honest.
What's interesting though too is because people, they always look at New York as like this, like it's like we're a bunch of liberals and all that. And what's so funny is if you go to the outer boroughs and you meet New Yorkers, not people who moved there from the Midwest to change the society, they're the most Republican people you're ever going to meet in your life.
Yeah.
Like my old neighborhood is all red.
Yeah.
And I lived in Bensonhurst, red. You know.
Yeah, there's a couple of spots, a lot of Staten Island too, because where all the cops live. They're not voting for Democrats for the most part. They will for local stuff because of unions, but not for president ever.
No. No, they call it New York's Alabama.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, it is out there. Well, you live here now, so that's
I'm pumped
markedly
to live here
better.
and get a gun legally. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right.
That people look. I think that so New Jersey's law is getting challenged right now in federal court, and they're going to lose.
Yeah.
So the requirement to, and I think that'll strike it down for the rest of the country. The requirement to get a permit to just buy a firearm is going to go away in the next year. I think next June, when the Supreme Court's adjudicating cases, that one will be done.
I'd actually love to hear your opinion on this, actually, because like I'm very pro Second Amendment and open carry. But there's something about New York City and just the mental, just because it's such a mentally ill city and it's so congested and people on top of each other, it is also a scary thought at the same time of how many people, if they had guns, like don't get me wrong, I know it's a deterrent, but it's also the ease of which, because the mentally ill are just, it's like the Walking Dead in that city. Like they're just walking around. I got a knife pulled on me the day before I left, like by a homeless guy with no shoes. And it's like...
I think that's just nature telling you you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's...
the idea of them having guns is also kind of crazy at the same time.
It is.
And it's a weird pickle that I'm in because I'm so pro-Second Amendment, but also I'm like, this city would be, the amount of people getting shot by accident. Like, there's already enough people there's a lot of people getting shot by accident. So it's a hard...
Well, I mean, same thing's happening in Chicago, and guns are basically illegal there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not a thing. I think the way that I think about this is that I believe everybody that can hear me knows at least one person that shouldn't own a gun, even if it's just some slapdick down the street that's a homeless dude that's crazy, right? The question then becomes, who gets to decide who's entitled to self-defense? Is it the government? Because nope, I don't care how dangerous it gets, I'll never agree to that.
Yeah.
And I think, what we need to do as human beings is twofold. One, start holding people actually accountable. Put criminals in prison. And if they fuck up again, put them in prison again. Right? And then another way to hold people accountable is to shoot them in their face.
Yeah.
Right? Like what Daniel Penny did on that subway, I think he should have killed the dude on purpose. If you're out there being a predator and in a public place routinely getting in people's faces and threatening people, this is fucking unacceptable to me.
People don't realize how often that happens on the train, to the point where you're numb to it. Like, if someone's just walking around saying, I'm going to kill everybody, you're just like, okay, I'm going to keep on playing my game. Like, it's so just like, you're so numb to it in New York.
Yeah. I think people should take that threat seriously, and that dude should be put down. If you communicate a threat to me, I should be able to fucking put you down.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. And that'll solve it real quick.
Yeah, I was telling Candace on the other, because of how masculinity is dying. Like, I was on the train, and there was a guy literally saying everything except for the word rape in a girl's ear, and saying, because everyone's fucking pussy in New York. I'm watching this happen, and I see the girl start crying, and I was like, are you okay? And she's like, no. And I was like, come sit next to me. And I stand up thinking that all these other bearded fucking dudes are going to do something about it, and I'm the one that stands up. And if people don't stand up, like, I could have gotten the shit stabbed out of me. Thank God the guy was a bitch. But like, no one else stood up. No one else wanted to get up. No one else wanted to do anything about it. And is it because of Daniel Penny's situation? I don't know. Or is it because they're soft? I'm not too sure. But people don't want to do anything about it down there. And that's why, I mean, this is going to be a hot take, but I think that they need to bring mental institutions back.
Oh, yeah. That was Reagan, by the way. They got rid of that.
Yeah.
Mental institutions, machine guns, triple the national debt, Iran-Contra. Reagan was a shitty president. I don't know why people idolize him so much.
Because if you just let these mentally ill people walk the streets, and then, like, could you imagine? To me, I was living on, like, right before I left, I was living on the Upper East Side. And right before I left, there was a guy who stabbed a bunch of people in the streets, just another homeless guy. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm paying this much money to walk around actual mental patients. And I have to act like this is okay, or else I'm looked at as a bad person. And it's like, why should these people just be allowed? And I know some people think it's fucked up to say, but why should they be walking the streets when they should be in care with people, like getting the mental health that they need, instead of just pretending everything's okay? Because without that, you have, like, you could have guns in New York.
Like, I mean, it's just toxic empathy. You know what I mean? It's another version of is-ought fallacy. It's the erosion of masculinity being replaced by femininity where it doesn't belong, to be honest, right? Like, certainly, mom's biggest threat, and I know you probably knew, even though your mom passed early, you probably knew this institutionally. Mom's biggest threat when you're a child is dad's going to be home soon.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's the worst thing you can hear from mom.
Your father's
if mom's chirping and fucking smacking you with a shoe or whatever the fuck.
Wooden spoon.
It's like, all right, man, I can take this all day.
Shit.
You know what I mean? But dad's coming home? Fuck. Right?
Yeah.
That used to be the big threat. And it's not because that mom wouldn't have been capable of doling out some justice, I guess. It's just like biologically we're programmed to fear dad.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
my mom
should be.
She was like a mob boss. Like, I would do something, she'd be like, just wait till your father gets home.
Yeah.
And my dad would come in like a hitman. Like, it's nothing personal. The boss sent me.
Yeah. Because dad just wants to come home and relax and drink a beer, and you've, like, interrupted that now, so it's all right.
Especially, my dad was a corrections officer, so he spent all day in jail, and now he's got to deal with me being an asshole. Like...
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what culture needs. We decided to start respecting women, and that's a good plan. But we decided to put them in charge, and that's a stupid plan. Women shouldn't be in charge of anything.
So you think Kathy Hochul should be in charge in New York?
Well, it's a good thing I'm white because I know what this computer is. Otherwise, I wouldn't know. No, women shouldn't be. I don't think women are biologically programmed to be in charge of shit like that.
Yeah,
it's never been that way before, and it wasn't because men were trying to stop them from doing it. There's never been one matriarchal society in the history of the fucking world, not one, ever.
Yeah,
ever. There's a reason for that, and it's not just because we're bigger and stronger. Because we've had presidents that were 5'3". James Madison was a midget. You know what I mean? It wasn't because we were big and strong. It was because women wanted us in charge.
Yeah, well, what's funny about that is because when girls say, "Oh, well, look at when men are in charge," there's all these wars and stuff like that. The couple times that women have been in charge, statistically, have started more wars than any men.
Bloody Mary was pretty rough.
Yeah.
The Victorian era. So
statistically, they start a lot of fucking wars when they're in charge.
I mean, technically, World War I is a result of Queen Victoria because she kind of worked behind the scenes to get her nephews in charge of all three countries involved. The German Kaiser, the Russian leader, and the English. Obviously, the English leader was her grandson.
Yeah.
She like kind of worked behind the scenes to marry off people and make sure that her family was in charge of Europe, and then three cousins who were retarded.
Like a Genghis Khan type of situation?
Sort of, yeah, but she wasn't breeding them. She was just marrying them off to other royal families, so they'd be part of their bloodlines.
And take over power.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that... that worked out well. The bloodiest war in the history of human beings as a result of a woman's meddling. And there's nothing misogynist about this. Women are meant to do things.
Yeah.
And it's not that. That's it, right? There's a reason why it's never happened successfully ever. And it's because it wasn't meant to.
It's also the things that they are good at are fucking awesome. I don't know why we downplay that shit.
And very necessary, and they're not getting done either right now.
No. That's why when we downplay women doing these roles, like... It's pretty fucking awesome that you could literally create a human. It's like, why are we downplaying that? That's not the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah, right now we've got a culture that has been invaded by femininity at the leadership level, and we are seeing the results of that. And then on the other end, we're seeing a declining birth rate in almost every major country on earth.
Well, what's funny is because I'm 35, so I grew up with I'd say like a lot of what feminism is now is like really started when I was younger. And I'm watching these girls who, when I was younger, would say, I don't need a man, and I don't need this, and I don't care about I just care about my job. And now I'm watching a lot of them freaking the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're realizing, like, oh, shit.
They were lied to their whole life.
Yeah, I have a cool job, but now, I don't have a family, and I have no kids. And I see some of them dating. I'm seeing the most liberal girls I know dating conservative dudes because they actually want to have a family.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. There's a whole like meme about it now where liberal women in cities are like, am I really going to have to start dating a conservative? It's like, yeah, man was always supposed to be the conservative. You were supposed to be the liberal. That's what conservative, liberal, and government are.
Yeah.
It's masculine and feminine. Why is this such a goddamn mystery to everybody?
Dude, it was so weird. As like before I left, I was like, I wasn't dating intentionally. It was just like, because I knew I was leaving. But the amount of girls that had like blue hair, nose rings, that were that were coming to me on these dating apps. Like I'd see them, they already swiped right on me.
Yeah.
And I'd meet up with them, and we'd hang out, and they would almost feel bad about it, but they'd also say like, it's nice that a guy could actually lift me up, which is sad. And they're just.
I actually agree with that. I think that a man should be able to curl his woman,
100%,
and that keeps the man strong and the woman not fat.
Yeah.
Right. You're both responsible to some degree. Like if in your relationship you can't curl your wife and your wife can't be curled by you, somebody's at fault. Probably both of you.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys work together and fix that.
Yeah. The amount of girls at the end were like, it was so nice to have a guy that was able to pick me up. I'm like, what have you been dating?
Yeah. Dudes with no shoulders. You can't trust men with no shoulders. They're the sneaky fucker. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's a with manatees and sea lions and other animals like that. There's one alpha dude who's called the beach master, right?
Okay.
And he bangs all the girls, and he will fight you if you try to come bang one. But then around the berm are all the sneaky fuckers, the outcast males, and the clever ones will wait for him to go to sleep and sneak in and breed
with their no shoulders.
Yep. They're called sneaky fuckers, but they use subterfuge and social strategies, just like a woman would, to come breed with that, right? This is what happens in male female society as well. Like as soon as women are a little bit distracted or angry at a man or some bullshit like that, some dude with no shoulders comes. Actually, birth control has done most of it.
I was about to say that
fucks people up badly. Like there's actually a really good study on this where women are on birth control, they marry some limp dick dude, and then they come off.
They want someone masculine.
They come off birth control, and
what's what progesterone does to their body.
Yeah. It's like it's really not great.
Well, the theory behind it is the fact that when you're on birth control, your body is flooded with progesterone. So when you're pregnant, you're not in that mode like I need to find. It's not that survival mode where I need someone to protect me. Yeah. I need someone to birth me. So you have that more relaxed way of being like, oh, I don't need that, as if like how a girl who's already impregnated with someone who's going to take care of them has. So when they're not, then all of a sudden these girls are coming off and they're like, ooh, that guy's gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. A lot of divorces happen after the first child because of that, which is sad. Like one of the most important resources on earth is vagina. Right? Yeah. Maybe the most important,
driving
probably,
force
right?
for everything.
Like the reason that dudes build civilization and put spoilers on their Honda,
nice houses,
whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like the stuff that drives economies happen as a result of men trying to impress women, and that's a very important.
The reason why me
part.
and you have our hair done right now is deep down before that.
Yeah, it's like the thing that drives pretty much every facet of the economy is based on men trying to impress women.
Exactly.
And when certainly women played their role in it, but you're a dude. I don't want to hear you bitching. You're supposed to be in charge. Why the fuck are you complaining? Shut the fuck up and go do your work. That's it. I don't want to hear anything else about it, to be honest. All these dudes that call themselves Sigma males these days that just fucking play video games and pound off all the time. It's like, you're a fucking gay. Dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how that's even like an alpha mentality. Going the other way from pussy. That's gay. Yeah,
it's very that might be the biggest cope in the history of human beings, right? Because I'm sure you remember from high school, some dude gets shot down. He goes, "Oh, that girl's a lesbian." It's
Yeah.
like, okay, that's kind of honestly, it's kind of funny at the time. But if you make that your entire worldview about all women, then you're gay.
Yeah,
that's it.
you're probably
just,
gay.
Just give up, dude, because you're not gonna make.
Well, I
it
think
work.
a lot of those dudes are undercover. You know.
Oh yeah, probably yeah. Anyways, we got to get out of here and do this other show. Tell everybody where they can find you, all your comedy. You getting any specials coming up or anything?
Yeah, I'm on everything at not Nick Simmons, Instagram, TikTok, all that. And me and Brian Callen are on tour right now. So
every year, basically.
Yeah.
For the last 4 years? Something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah. So we're going to Alpharetta, Atlanta, Georgia next. Then
That's where my co-host is from, actually.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going there actually this weekend. Then we're in Charleston, South Carolina. Then San Diego. So it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah,
This is
anytime.
great.
Thank you all for listening. It's been Citizen.